Denver, Colorado teen Dakryn Rhymes Jr. has not been seen since February the 6th after leaving school. Dakryn's family has been sharing flyers and speaking to local media in Denver, Colorado, trying to find their son and trying to communicate with all of the normal places where he may frequent. On Friday, February the 6th, Dakryn went to school. His family went about the day as normal, and when they returned home in the afternoon, Dakryn was not there. And that was highly unusual because usually he takes public transportation home, according to his parents. It's roughly about a 14-minute trip home on public transportation via bus. And when they got home, he was not there. Later in the evening, they said by around 9 p.m., their concerns heightened and they shared those concerns with law enforcement, and a missing persons report was filed by the Denver Police Department. Now I'm going to share on the screen our case file of Dakryn's disappearance that we have at themorningfeed.com, and you can also share tips anonymously there. If you do not want to contact police directly, we can pass those tips on to the appropriate individuals. However, if you scroll down here, we have started a timeline. We'll add to that as we find more information. He was reported missing, like I said, on the 6th. He was last seen leaving school, so he made it to school that day. He left school, which is right on the intersection of East 27th Street or East 27th Avenue and Columbine Street in Denver. That's where he attends school there. And I will go up to, here's a few pictures of him that we have posted. We also have posted a flyer. But like I was saying, it's about a 14-minute trip home, and he never made it home. They eventually, they waited, they did everything that they possibly could think of, and then they had to go ahead and call law enforcement and unfortunately report him missing. And no one has seen him since. There's been no verified reports. I saw a report that someone may have seen him at a basketball game, but it's not verified, so I don't really want to put too much weight on that until we hear more about whether or not they're able to confirm that sighting. Dakryn has siblings, and he has parents who are incredibly worried about him and want nothing more than for him to return home. If you happen to see him on February 6th or after, please contact law enforcement or leave an anonymous tip on our website. You can go right down here. As you can see, we have an anonymous tip form right there that you can send over to us. Or you can call the Denver Police Department at 720-913-2000. If you happen to see him out somewhere, just dial 911 and report his location. That way their local authorities, whoever's closest in the area, can be dispatched immediately to go and make sure that he is safe and make sure that he returns to his parents. We'll share more on this as soon as possible. I'm going to actually go contact the police department and possibly the family just to let them know that they can also reach out to the Center for Missing and Exploited Children, because his information has not been shared with their organization yet, which would greatly help for him to get a little bit more exposure, a little more eyes on the situation to make people aware that he is missing in case anyone in the area were to see him. Unfortunately, police departments do not automatically share that information, and sometimes parents have to actually request that a missing child is shared with the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. That way there you get them on their platform. More people get eyes on his face and know that he is missing, plus there are additional resources that they can offer to police departments to help with searching for a missing child. So hopefully his information will be shared with them so that he can be found as quickly as possible. There is a slight disagreement, I believe. I don't know if I want to label it quite as a disagreement. Difference of opinion, I would say, about his disappearance. The Denver police is saying that he is a runaway. We hate that term. We absolutely cannot stand using that term. A child is never just simply a runaway. If a child is missing from their home, They could come in contact with anything or anyone that could put them in danger. So a child should never be just classified as a runaway. And in fact, I'm not even sure we should be allowed to consider a child a runaway unless we actually have factual proof that they ran away. Until you know the situation and the facts of the case and the evidence, labeling something a runaway, labeling it anything more than a missing person, can be highly reckless. And we've seen it play out in horrific ways many times, and we don't want to continue to see that in our country. So we need to make sure that we start doubling down on authorities and the legal system when they classify teenagers automatically as runaways before they even have the facts or evidence to prove that. So that's my little rant. We're going to reach out to the people we need to reach out to in order to see if we can get him onto the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. There are times that parents do not want their child to be put on there. They don't want them to be shared in that way, in that public way. So it can be a matter of whether or not they want that, but we're just going to reach out to make sure that they were offered that. So keep your eye out in the Denver, Colorado area and the surrounding areas. If you happen to see him, like I said, call 911 if you see him immediately and you have eyes on him at that time. Report the location to them. Or if you have information or you think you may have seen him sometime in the last week, go ahead and call the Denver Police Department. Or you can submit an anonymous tip right here on our website. Thank you.